Hey, welcome back into today's video. Trisha Paytas has finally responded to the Moses Hacmon situation, but it came out in a sort of a breakdown and a revealing of some stuff to do with Ethan when he tweeted about privating an episode of Frenemies. This led to more of a breakdown from the Trisha Paytas side of things, and it appears that she may have been accusing a deceased man and beloved member of a community and honored teacher of terrible things that were not true. There's a lot that's happened. I'm going to break it down in a chronological order best that I can for you guys in today's episode of Exploring YouTubers, if you're unfamiliar. Once again, before we start today's video, I want to talk about the fundraiser. If you go to any video that says fundraiser at the bottom, and you look to the right on desktop below on mobile, you can see the last video I asked you if we could reach 12,000. We have exceeded 12,000 and are at $12,262. I really appreciate that. This is for RAIN to help survivors in difficult situations, and I just wanted to say, if you do donate, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, thank you. Back to the video. I posted a video yesterday called Trisha Paytas, The Dishonesty of Moses Hacmon, where in this video we went through and broke down exactly what their fiance has been accused of. Some of the words in this video will be censored for the YouTube algorithm, and also I'm going to be censoring words that might be make you feel not good. What's the word?
Sad.
If you're unfamiliar with Trisha Paytas, she's a YouTuber with over 5 million subscribers. Now, she's got some other channels, some I've heard that are secret, and it's quite a bit. So obviously we already know that Moses and Trisha are set to be married in November, but as more things come out, it just makes me feel like, is this gonna happen? So Trisha has been pretty quiet on this, not responding about the situation for a good bit. Even clickbaiting, saying why I'm not posting, and this video is not about any of this situation, but you would think that it was. So during this period of silence, finally, she spoke out, but she only spoke out when she was prompted to by a tweet from Ethan. On September 10th, 2021, he tweeted, "Important. It has come to my attention that Trisha in episode 17 of Frenemies called out a teacher by name and accused him of her during school. She claimed this teacher was arrested and served time for possession of..." She also claimed that someone else had come forward to say that them as well. Upon further review, these claims seem to contradict available evidence. Because of the nature of these claims against the specific teacher and the stress it's causing his family, I've decided to unlist the episode for now until Trisha can better illuminate the situation. I want to emphasize that I do not believe Trisha would lie about something like this, so I want to give her the opportunity to clarify. But in the meantime, because the teacher has passed on and cannot defend himself, I feel obligated to remove it for now. In an insider article titled "Trisha Paytas and fiance Moses Hacmon are facing mounting scrutiny amid a series of exposes and callouts." This is by Kat Tinbarge and Charlotte Colombo. One part of the article says, in episode 17 of Frenemies, released on January 19th, Paytas accused a teacher from Byron, Illinois of them while they were in his class in middle school. Paytas said their school principal did not believe their claims at the time, but said the teacher was later arrested for searching for at school. So there's this channel called Mysterious that's been documenting this whole situation and the details within these videos. Wow, the research, it goes hard. Like, I am really proud of this creator for collecting all this stuff and putting it together. I'm going to put the videos in the pinned comment as well, but they break down some pretty interesting things. TW, we're going to be discussing situations that may make some viewers uncomfortable, situations involving SA. In a TikTok uploaded December 4th, 2020, she says, 6th grade teacher known to be mean to everyone takes a liking to me and gives me a nickname.com. We start playing games in class that require heads down to not cheat, and he stands behind me the whole time to rub himself on me. Eventually starts putting hands up and down inside me, and students report this. Keep in mind that she says students reported this. Principal punishes me by switching my classes and telling me I'm no longer allowed to show my arms or legs, and they need to be covered at all times. Teacher finds me and gives me kisses on the lips to apologize. Takes inappropriate pics of me in his classroom and told me he'd send them to Playboy even though I was 12. He gets arrested for having not good things on his computer at work. Mysterious points out in her video that 2 different people on 2 different days say that this was a story that they'd read on Reddit. Now, Mysterious breaks down patterns with Trisha Paytas where it shows a pretty big pattern of behavior when it comes to lying ever since she was a kid, and I think it's really important for you guys to watch this video. Here's Trisha claiming she doesn't even know her own identity.
Influenced by pop culture, I have no identity of my own. This is the true thing. I never had an identity growing up. I have an identity disorder, so I think I don't know who I am, so I become other things and other people. Probably why I cosplay and dress up as other people, because that's who I learned from, is movies and TV. I really don't know who I am as a person, so it's sad and exciting at the same time. I just know I find comfort in things. I know I see things on TV and I want to be that, and I like model my life after that, and I find things to imitate my life because I don't know what I like. So like, who are watching Darcy and Stacy? This is a show on Discovery, and it's about these 2 twin sisters who've dated a lot of foreign men, and now they're each married to foreign men, and they have this like these thick Eastern European accents, and like, it reminds me a lot of me and Moses. Like, the girls remind me of me, and the guys on the show remind me of Moses in like this weird way. It's like, if you watch the show, you might be like, no, not so whatever. But like, I watch it, and I'm like, okay, this is my life, but it's not. But I'm modeling it that because I don't know the structure that my life is supposed to be without seeing something on TV.
So these examples were brought up to showcase that she actually puts herself together from things that she sees. In reference, it could be possible that she made up this story that she read on Reddit, but we don't know if this is the case for 100% sure. Now, as I said, Ethan took down episode 17 of Frenemies because Trisha said this.
I was going to class with like this teacher that was like all on me and stuff, and I was just like, how does no one believe me? The principal, like nobody. It was like really weird, and so I think from that, like,
did that guy eventually did anyone eventually believe you?
Not funny, but like my 6th grade teacher, yeah, I talked about it on TikTok. The one that used to ask me would play like heads down, and he'd come around and like grab my breast, like put his hands on me. He did get arrested. His name was Mr.
Because of you or because of other incidents?
So someone else came forward. I never did.
Gross.
But he had child on his computer at the school.
Oh my God, nobody
Mr.
believed
Riney,
you?
Byron Middle School, and I did say something originally, and like no one believed me. It happened again my 8th grade year. No one believed me, and I was just like,
bruh.
But that guy did. He did get arrested, and I don't know where he is now, but he did. Yeah.
Remember back on TikTok when I said, remember this? Well, she said the students reported this. On this episode of Frenemies, she said that she reported this. Trisha also talks about this on episode 23.
I had an incident happen in middle school where a teacher like gripped my boobs all the time when we would do like heads down 7-Up. And so when I finally went to the principal about it, he told the principal, well, she's been wearing water bras, so she's been asking for it. Like, it's been teasing me. And the principal's like, have you been wearing water bras? I'm like, yeah.
Say what? And the principal was like receptive to that argument?
And he's like, have you been wearing water bras? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, well, let's not wear water bras to school. And like, that was my fault because I wore a water bra. I mean, there's been more like that.
Dude, this world is so crazy. What is a water bra?
A water bra was my mom's. It was a bra that, it was like water.
You fill it with water?
No, it already had the water in the bra. It was very heavy.
Oh, and you were wearing those at what age?
Like 12. Because I had uneven boobs, so I was trying to even my boobs out for real. And he said he would come feel it all the time because we play that game like heads down, 7-Up, whatever, and you have to like put your head down, or when you were done with the test, but whatever. And so he'd come around and like always like and whatever. And so he did get arrested. This guy actually did get arrested, but later on. But
now in this version of the story, she does say that just like the last one, that she was the one that went to the principal, not the students that she said in the original TikTok. But she added a couple more details, being that the teacher admitted to what he did, which. Now she actually talks about this again a 4th time in another TikTok, and the details, they change. And not only do they change, but she encourages people to look this person up. And that's when the stories really started unraveling.
I've always been vocal on social media because I was silenced. Not to give like a silly reference in this, but I was silenced for so long at my school growing up. I had 3 different incidences with 3 different teachers in regards to SA, R word, and M word. It happened in the school. And one principal didn't believe me. 2, I was too scared to speak up. And 3, the teacher said I was like asking for it. So it was like looked over. The one that I was too scared to speak up on, someone else spoke up years later and he ended up getting arrested. Byron, Illinois. Look it up. His name is Mr. Riney for looking up at school.
So again, she goes back to her saying that she was silenced and that she never spoke up about this, and then encourages her audience to go look this guy up. Well, I don't think she expected them to actually do it. And what we find, and we're going to search this, what we find is evidence of her doing the whole identity thing where she is watching and reading things, and then kind of like, it's almost like she's creating her own path. The very first thing that pops up is this guy's obituary. One thing I found was on the Trisha Paytas subreddit, to which they said, Trisha and outing that teacher who SA'd them on TikTok. Apologies if this has been talked about before. If it has, please link me. But I'm wondering what happened with that, because the last thing I heard was that no articles came up about him when Trish said to Google it. I'm a fan of Trish myself, so this comes from a real place of concern. One person says, when I went to Google him, the recommended search was Mr. Riney Byron Middle School. So I searched that. 3 out of 4 of the top results for me were articles about other teachers who made in Illinois, with no mention of Riney in any of the articles I could see. The other result was the actual Mr. Riney's obituary that said he worked at the high school. And that's exactly what we saw when we searched it. They go on to say, I think Trisha was banking on people not checking out the article and assuming he was affiliated with other teachers of misconduct, or the headlines were in regard to him and not others. Or maybe she really thought he was arrested based on those articles showing up upon a similar search where she couldn't be bothered to read the contents of the article. Either way, she's either lying or didn't do her due diligence. She's giving people just cause to question her. Another thing I found really interesting, which kind of goes in with her changing of the stories, is in her old videos and in her book, she said she always felt attracted to her teachers, but beyond that, nothing ever happened. She said they never touched her or anything. So honestly, I don't know what to feel or think about her claims. On a separate occasion where she talks about this very same situation, the story changes again. The details are completely different. You can tell that Trisha is talking about this guy, but the details, they do not add up. On one of Trisha's most recent podcast episodes,
with the teacher who abused me when I was in the 6th grade, he ended up going to prison for on his computer and ended up dying. And so you're just kind of like, okay, well, he did get his. But at the time when I had turned him in or talked about it, I was told, like, I had to literally like switch classes because I was told that like I lie. And even thinking about that, like, I'm like trying to think as like a child, and I think through this, I'm like, was I a compulsive liar, or do people just not believe stories that to me seemed extreme? They did, like, looking back seem extreme, but the more I hear from other people, I'm like, no, this is actually kind of common.
so here she says that this guy was arrested at school for doing this, even though this never happened. She does admit the dude passed away, but he wasn't in jail. He was living his normal life. Actually, it comes out that this dude is like a standout citizen, somebody that was in the army, somebody that was just really good, and people had a lot of high praise and opinion for this dude, and he had a squeaky clean record. 5 times being included in the who's who of American teachers, twice being honored by Western Illinois University as a highly motivational teacher, and placement in Newman's Athletic Hall of Fame. If you guys want to read the whole thing, I'll put that in the pinned comment. So after all this stuff came out, this prompted Trisha to go to Twitter and have some sort of what looks like a breakdown. I'm going to read you a series of messages, so get ready for that. People really press to see us happy. Moses and I were toxic AF at the beginning, and we've grown tremendously together. First, it's poor Moses and free him, and now it's poor Trisha. We live together. We go to therapy together. We've worked past things. Me and Moses met March 15th, 2020. We didn't start dating until August 1st, 2020. I did OF that entire summer, banging everyone and everything. I did some very bad stuff to him, and he did some awful stuff to me too. By the grace of God and therapy, it turned into a beautiful thing. But people can't accept that. And hey, if you think we're both toxic and evil, don't we deserve each other anyway? You can't think I'm both the victim and the villain. Pick one and go with it. I've addressed all this stuff endlessly on Frenemies, on my old podcast and videos. People bringing up the same stuff. People coming at me about events in my life makes me sick to my stomach. I will not entertain it on the most vulnerable parts of my life, talk about my relationship, whatever, talking about something I wasn't comfortable with, talking about something for so long, I physically can't take it. The thing is I was called a liar back then. The same bad stuff happens to me over and over again, and it's why I never said anything, and it's why I never will again. Think about what you could possibly be defending if you don't believe me. Much worse has happened to worse people. And I would say those names, but would anyone even believe me? I'm a liar. So I guess this stuff doesn't happen to me. And I want to pause it right there because I want to say that it's really showing through the screen here about how she's not completely honest, as we know the story about Mr. Riney. So it makes me feel like she's trying to gaslight the viewer in this situation. I've only ever shared stories when other people come out with theirs first. I have so many awful, unmentionable things that have happened to me in my life, but I'll wait for others to share their stories until I chime in. People only believe me when others have the same story. And the internet doesn't care about anyone involved. They don't care about families that could be innocent. They don't care about anyone's well-being. They just want to hurt me and now Moses. There's a breeding place that starts all this. It's so toxic. It's so damaging. It's made so much private information of private people involved with my life and Moses' life public. The place deleted a lot, but of course, nothing when it comes to me. I wish it would all stop. I've been on the receiving end of fan hate mobs before, and it's already gone too far, and nothing's being done to stop it, only to incite more hate. Anytime there's a jab made at me, a joke's made about me, the hate piles up again. There's been 2 instances of this in just the past week, and the hate mob comes out in full force again. If it's not this, it's something else, but this is very serious. My pain is not up for discussion anymore. You don't get to demand things from me. If you hate me and want to see the worst for me, please ignore me. Every time I'm mentioned on the podcast, the hate starts up and it's becoming volatile. I'm not sure what people want me to do. Lie about my past? Break up with Moses? End myself? After this, Trisha spiraled into multiple videos where she was crying and she was saying things that were, well, it was incoherent. Then on September 12th, she quote tweets Keemstar saying H3H3 fans planning to go after Trisha Paytas' sponsors. To which she says it all starts from the Reddit that they control and monitor. We weren't just some random people they have beef with. We have stopped and they won't. They're doing this to Moses in his workplaces too. It's really too far and they don't care. And then said, okay, Ethan said he was going to show all my text messages, so I will show them myself. And these messages, when she showed them, they really didn't do her situation any favors. If anything, validated everyone but her. So this was a conversation that I'm told was in an old Frenemies group chat where everybody still was. So she starts off, she's begging and pleading for them to stop mentioning her or anything about her and Moses. She starts telling them her side and what's going on, to which Ethan says, you really need to make a statement on the Mr. Riley stuff, which I agree with that. She says, you do not get to tell me what I need to talk about. I've talked with his family. They were unaware of the report I made as a child. They want it to go away. You do not get to tell me how I handle my essay. He says, this is FYI, not a private chat, so don't assume you have rights of privacy, and I will share these screenshots if necessary. She says, wow, I'm pleading for you to just stop. He says, anything you want to say in writing, please. She again pleads for him to stop. She says, please stop. He says, then no need for phone. Why can't you just leave me alone? And then Gila comes out and says, my mom is having a mental breakdown and my whole family is basically broken down. Welcome to the club. You're not the only person here hurting. Start taking responsibilities for your own actions and stop blaming us for everything that's happening to you. And same for Moses, who is not in this chat, but I'm sure he is reading. And she just repeats herself a lot. Gila says a little too late. She says, what do you want? Moses in jail for a crime he didn't commit? She says, sorry, you also don't get to tell us what to do. She says, I'm just asking and pleading. Ethan says, how do you know he didn't do it? She says, he didn't, there's texts. Ethan says, how do you know? He has so many. I saw all the texts. Wow, you guys know him. Ethan says, I thought I did. I don't know him. I believe the victim. She says, you're falsely accusing someone you know. Gila says, you're sending her hate nonstop. Think about what you're doing. Trisha says, I haven't said anything, even though we obviously know that she has, because I did a whole video on it before this one, and it's just pretty obvious. Gila says, calling her a stalker. She says, I just want this to end. I am pleading. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm asking. And then he says, I can't really understand that part right there, but he says, and you would do if you actually cared about survivors, you hypocrite. Shame on you both. I'm so trembling with anger, disgust, shame, sadness. And then she says, what? People lie, people do. As we've seen in this video, I just think that a lot of this stuff is, if anything, this situation to me shows me calculation, manipulation by Trisha, and I'm not even sure if she's aware of it. I think that she needs help. I mean, if she is aware of it, whew. To which Trisha says, this is not a random case. This is somebody you know. Ethan said, I thought I knew him. Your whole Reddit is saying I lied about being M-worded, but believe all survivors, right? You can't, and I'm just to be clear, I am saying survivors because VICTIMS is a word that gets the video suppressed on YouTube for some reason. Ethan says, what you're saying does not line up with the evidence. I'm still waiting for you to clarify, and I want to hear the clarification as well. She says, you can hate us. Ethan says, I owe you nothing. She says, fine. He says, shame on you both, shame. Trisha Paytas blows up a little bit more on Twitter and then actually tweets this. I sent those as a last-ditch effort to please stop the back and forth. I take blame for all of it. I will take all the heat and backlash too. Just don't let it go further. Gila told me it's too little too late. No, you know when it's too late. When it's too late, I'm pleading just to stop. Just stop. I will take back anything I said about them, pay them back everything to just stop. I'm breaking. So clearly this is a complicated situation, but after I've seen everything and I've watched this stuff unfold over the past couple years, really, with Trisha, it's just like, man, like, I don't believe anything she says. There's been so many examples of her lying and dragging this deceased person. It's just, it's too much. And I don't know. I want to know what you guys think, because as interesting as this is always something that's more interesting to me, that's right, you guessed it, I want to know what you think. So why don't you go leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up those likes as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. This was a lot, but that's a nice order I put things through. Make sure you do go watch Mysterious's video. There's a couple, and they're in depth. I'm very impressed. Let's get some positivity turtles in the chat. I feel like we're gonna need them. I took another cold shower this morning. I'm drinking out of this mug. It says paranormal captivity there, and I wish that it was on this side because my mic's on this side, and I don't know. I guess if I was left-handed that would work. I'm kind of ambidextrous, but yeah, man. Thank you guys for donating to the fundraiser. We have passed 12,000. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. Looking like we may get to 15,000. I don't know. I'm happy with whatever we get to. It's just amazing as a community that we've accomplished this year. So, let me know if you decide to donate to that. Thank you to my patrons. If you want to support what I do here and get your name at the end of my videos, then the link to that will be in the pinned comment as well. And that'll be just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting how you do that. I gotta do subscribe, notifications turned on, be in the comment section for every single video, because I'm gonna be there. Greg the Cat's gonna be there, and the rest of the Repzilla for me as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Man, I'm really hungry. I feel like I need a pumpkin spice cappuccino.